Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population and with little or no meaningful engagement leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.
Good evening and welcome to Ways Primetime. My name is Choma Kalu, and tonight, the nation's attention turns once again to the military, the backbone of Nigeria's external and internal defense, as the Senate confirms the newly appointed service chiefs following the sudden dismissal of their predecessors and the swirl of rumors about a possible coup plot within the armed forces. Now, President Tinubu last week announced a major shakeup in the military hierarchy, replacing the service chiefs. Now, the appointment came barely 48 hours after reports circulated about the arrest and detention of some senior officers allegedly linked to this coup plot, claims that the defense headquarters swiftly denied. But the timing of these dismissals and replacements has, kept tongues wagging about what really triggered this change at the top. So tonight on Ways, we're asking, will this new military leadership turn the tide on our insecurity? Are we expecting a new phase of, another level of security? Are they going to do something different? Now, remember, Ways is all about you, as you are the why in Ways. So be a part of the conversation every single day and add your voice to the discussions. Head on now to YouTube at Official Upgrade TV, hit that subscribe button, like, share, and invite your friends and family to join the show now. And when I open my phone lines, I would really love to hear your say, your opinion, your insight on this topic. And as always on this show, here is a quote for you to ponder on. It says, "Coup rumors are not signs of strength or courage, but symptoms of a system that has lost the people's confidence." And this was said by Wole Soyinka. We'll get into this as, it kind of embodies the entirety of our conversation tonight. So we will get on it. But before then, we'll go on a quick break. And when we come back, I'll take you through my news interest for the day. Please stay with us.
Tell us you're a Nigerian without saying a word. Energy security is one of the most pressing issues for many developing countries like Nigeria. And if there's going to be any meaningful progress, addressing our energy issues is non-negotiable.
I need to see light for my house. Make them do something.
Band A is expensive. I literally have to turn off all my appliances just to reduce costs.
We need light.
Introducing the Energy Outlook, your go-to show for everything energy. Every week, we'll bring you the latest insights, innovation, and in-depth analysis of Nigeria's energy sector. From policy discussions to regulatory insights, we will analyze the key decisions influencing growth and sustainability in the energy sector. We'll bring you the human stories behind the headlines, giving you a personal perspective on the broader energy challenges. Join me every Friday at 6 p.m. for the Energy Outlook, your guide to the future of energy, where energy means business.
You're welcome back. You're still watching Ways, and I'm going to take you through some of the news stories that got my interest today. And the first I have says, Obi worries about drug trafficking through courier services. The Labour Party presidential candidate in 2023, Peter Obi, has expressed deep concern over reports that drug traffickers are increasingly using courier and delivery services to distribute narcotics across Nigeria. Obi, in a statement on his X handle yesterday, described the trend as a sad reflection of how deep our national decay has become, warning that infiltration of criminals' network into the logistics sector exposes the weakness of Nigeria's regulatory and security institutions. He said, when criminal groups can freely use delivery companies to move drugs across the country, it shows how fragile our systems have become. Now, he also lamented that despite repeated warnings from NDLEA, the situation continues to worsen, a reality he attributed to corruption, weak oversight, and institutional compromise. The NDLEA, he says, has raised the concern many times, yet the problem persists. It is being fueled by poor regulation and a culture of impunity that has turned law enforcement into a mere formality. Now, Obi described drug trafficking as a grave national and international crime that destroys families, fuels insecurity, and erodes societal values. He cautioned that a nation already struggling with unemployment, hunger, and insecurity could not afford to normalize drug use or trade. This particular story is a very sad one because as funny as it sounds, this is happening. Right? We're beginning to normalize the use of drugs. You go to events grounds, they have a coded way they share these things, right? You're at a party and you're scared that your drink is going to be spiked if you just turn away. In fact, you can barely even comfortably take a drink or even eat something because it is the spread of drug usage has become a, will I say normal thing? It sounds really odd calling it a normal thing. But I think I join voices with Peter. I'll be calling this out because I don't see why delivery guys, logistics companies would want to comfortably transport. Oh my goodness. Thinking about it is really sad, you know? And then a poor a poor logistics guy, dispatch rider, would just pick up a parcel and not know what the content is. Imagine he being intercepted on the road. Imagine what would happen to that guy. So this is a call out to logistics company to double check on whatever package you people are sending out. Whatever. Because now, if you are discovered to be one of those that, you know, these drug dealers move their drugs from one place to another, it's not going to be a funny story. You know that your company is going down. You are going down for a long time, you know, and everybody involved. So you might want to save yourself that stress. And Nigerians, if you see something, say something. We have this culture of, consign me, it's not my business, and then we move ahead. We are all not going to survive like that. It always takes a village, we always say. So please, look out for yourselves, because they arrest people now by association. If your friend is doing it and you are there, they will carry you. So you better open your mouth, all right? Like I said, it's a very sad one, but I lend my voice together with that of Peter Obi to say enough is enough. We shouldn't normalize this in our country. We have a lot we are battling with. We have unemployment, we have hunger, we have insecurity. We can't normalize drug use. Anyway, moving forward to my second story of interest, it says police arrest 4 over alleged child trafficking in Anambra State. Now, the story says the police command in Anambra has detained 4 female suspects over the alleged trafficking of a week-old baby girl at Ifite Okuzu community in the state. The police public relations officer in the state, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, made the disclosure in a statement to newsmen on Tuesday in Oka. He said the command, through its operatives attached to Rapid Response Squad Okuzu, on October 28, acting on credible intelligence, stormed a location identified as Mama Maternity, situated at Ifite Okuzu in Oyi local government. He said during the raid, the operatives rescued a week-old baby girl and arrested 4 female suspects in connection with a case of conspiracy and a child trafficking. Ikenga said preliminary investigations revealed that the suspects conspired amongst themselves and allegedly purchased a newborn baby girl, barely a week old, for the sum of 1.7 million naira. Interesting. According to him, they had reportedly paid an advance of 350,000 to the purported biological mother of the child, who is among the arrested people. The police spokesman said that the baby girl had been rescued safely and was currently under protective care. He said the Commissioner of Police in the state, Ikoye Orutugu, had ordered the immediate transfer of the case to the State Criminal Investigation Department Gender Unit, OCA, for discreet investigation and necessary prosecution. I don't understand why a mother would give up her child for said amount. 1.7 million. God, that is what your child is worth to you. And then worse still, they didn't even pay you the money outrightly. They are paying you in installments. They gave you 350,000 and you've taken it. Why get pregnant if you don't want to keep the child? I don't know what this nation is becoming. And I'm sorry to say, but this Anambra state has some sort of record of these kind of things. The other day, I heard a story of how people, deceive desperate women who are looking for children, who want children, and then give them some things to drink, and then they have protruded stomach and want them not to go to the hospital, and all that. In this same Anambra state, there's a lot of issues to fix in this same Anambra state. And this is the same Anambra state we see the governor come out openly and offer monetary rewards for wards in the states that give him the highest votes for ABGA. You have that amount of money to dish out, 5 million, 3 million, 2 million, 1 million. You have that amount of money to dish out, but you're not fixing the important things. Why do you have issues? This is the same Anambra state, their vigilante group, I think they call them Agune Chamber or something. They harassed, beat up core members. And I think I saw in the news the other day that the core members have sued the government. This is the same Anambra state. These are the things you should look out for to fix. But here you are offering monetary rewards. And then you say, oh, it is in a bid to reward voters, encourage voters. What are you doing? I think this state should forget about, all these enticing things you're doing and fix this thing. Nothing blows your trumpet more than your developments, things you have done for the state. So rather than be more mindful of what's going to happen in November 8th, how about you take your time to fix these issues, because it's becoming a recurring incident in this particular state. And to the mother of the child that sold that child for 1.7 million, I don't know what to say to you, because you think that's such a huge amount of money. Give yourself 1 week and that money is gone. And congratulations anyway, kudos to the police for jumping in and rescuing that poor child. I do hope proper punishment will be meted out to the culprits. And to my last story of interest, it says road construction to cause temporary power outages in parts of Abuja, says TCN. Now, the story says the transmission company of Nigeria has announced that some parts of the Federal Capital Territory will experience temporary power outages due to ongoing road constructions along the Kuje axis. Now, in a statement via X on Tuesday, TCN said the construction project, which is being handled by the Federal Capital Development Authority, will run from Tuesday, October 28th to Sunday, November 16th. The commission said the construction work will affect 132 kV Gwagwalada Kukwaba Apo double circuit transmission line. In view of this, TCN will undertake a planned load management operation that would involve temporary interruption of power within the working hours for the road construction to ensure the safety of all stakeholders. TCN said the power outages would occur in 3 phases to minimize disruptions and allow the project to proceed seamlessly. They said the first phase is scheduled to commence from Tuesday, 28th October to Sunday, 2nd November 2025, between the hours of 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. daily. The second phase will take place from 6th November to 9th November 2025, between the hours of 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. daily, while the third phase will take effect from 12th of November to 16th of November 2025 between 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. TCN added that areas including Apo, Lokogoma, Guzape, Asokoro, Wuye, Otako, Jabi, and Idu industrial layout will be affected by the temporary outages. According to the statement, regular power supply will be restored at the end of each workday. So I only read the story out for my Abuja brethren. Everyone that live in Abuja, I hope you do see this, and I hope you put yourself together, to align with this new shake up. And I believe this is for the greater good of that particular city. So yes, cooperate with the TCN, and I believe they would give you the best they can during this period. Now, that's all the stories that caught my eye during the day. Let's go on a short break, and when we come back, we'll dive into our topic for tonight. Please stay with us. If you're just tuned in, our topic tonight says Senate confirms new service chiefs, and we're asking, will the new military leadership turn the tide on insecurity? Let's hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation by sending us an SMS or WhatsApp to 0818-038-4663. Also, the phone lines are open now. You can call on 070-2500-7749 and 0701-4242-420. Let's hear what you have to say. Now, you see, the dismissal of the former service chiefs shocked many observers, coming just months after they pledged renewed offensives against insurgents. Now, analysts believe the decision may have stemmed from growing discontent within the ranks, as well as, pressure over Nigeria's inability to contain nationwide insecurity. Now, the new appointees are stepping into one of the most challenging periods in Nigeria's recent history, when confidence in the military's effectiveness is wavering and rumors of internal dissent arrive. Now, for the Tinubu administration, this screening, the confirmation, is both a test of loyalty and a signal to reassert control over the nation's defense institutions. So tonight, we are unpacking. We want to we want to understand what this reshuffle means for Nigeria's democracy and the fight against insecurity and civil military relations, everything, all encompassing really. So joining me to discuss these developments and their wider implications, I have Professor Simeon Nana, a public affairs analyst, and Comrade Dr. Awal Abdullahi Aliyu, the Secretary General, Military Veterans Federation of Nigeria. Good evening, gentlemen, and thank you for joining me tonight.
Good evening.
Good evening, Prof. Thank you for joining me. Comrade Aliyu, are you here? Comrade, I think you're muted. Could you unmute yourself?
Okay.
Right, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes, I can. All right, so we're going to just get right into it. So to give a bit of context, the Senate has confirmed the new service chiefs following weeks of speculations and, the alleged coup rumors within the military. Prof, I'm going to come to you first. Do you think these appointments were primarily addressing performance, or do you think it's reinforcing loyalty within the armed forces? Which is it for you?
Well, maybe reinforcing loyalty to the commander-in-chief, not necessarily the armed forces. You rightly said it. There were rumors of coup and another rumor of the National Assembly claiming, allegedly, that somebody wants to attack the National Assembly. Now, the insurgency is getting to a situation where something needs to be done, and done fast too. Recall the quote you gave from Professor Wole Soyinka. And the summary of it all is that once there's a coup, it means there's loss of confidence. And I think that's what is going on now. There's loss of confidence in the military hierarchy. And that's why you have this change. I don't know why they're living in denial, because they told us the change was not because there was any coup. Now they are telling us some people are on the run because some of the people arrested mentioned them as part of the coup plotters. Again, or sponsoring the coup. Again, they are saying that the change is as a result of, it's a normal routine. They are talking as if they are talking to kindergarten pupils, because we have been in this country and we have not seen service chiefs being changed every 2 years. Because if it's a routine, then it would have been something that every 2 years, those people will be changed. You saw how long General Brutal was in the saddle. Even when people were calling for his removal, the president never did, until it became obvious that he has to go because of some other issues that were mentioned that I'm not going to say on national television. And as a result of that, he was removed. We have seen service chiefs in this country. We have not seen a situation where it is after every 2 years. I'm not a military person, but I have been in this country for almost 7 decades now. So I have not seen that happen before. So there is something they are not telling us. I dare say that there's devil in the details until they come up open to tell us what they are doing. So the change, for me, is because of palpable fear in the circle, in Aso Rock and what have you, that if care is not taken, something untoward may happen. So that's why people are bringing people that are loyal to them. Recall that one of the presidents in this country said that even the people that surrounded himself with betrayed him, President Jonathan. So people will always learn from other people's mistakes. So once you see any sign of betrayal, your first move will be to remove those people and bring in people that you feel you are confident with, people you feel you can work with, and that can bring the security report direct to your table. Because under normal circumstances, the rumor of coup wouldn't have come out from social media. It would have come out from the military itself. And then it didn't come out from there. And when it came out, they started telling us that people were arrested because they failed exams. This is the first time in the history of my life that I'm hearing that somebody will write an exam and fail. You arrest him for failing his exam, his own exam. The thing get a CB, I said in local palace.
Okay, so I'm coming to you, Comrade Ali, right? We've heard Professor Simeon. So, of course, I was going to cite Timi Presiova, whose residence was raided and all of that. Some, all tied to this coup and all of that. And then it's said that he's on the run. Do you still feel that these appointments, Comrade now, are addressing performance solely? Or is it like, reinforcing loyalty within the armed forces? What is it for you? I know you're in the military, so you should have something to tell us. You're muted, sir. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, perfectly. Go ahead.
Like you rightly know, and like I always say, the President and Commander-in-Chief has a prerogative of appointing whoever he wants to appoint into whatever position at whatever given time, just like he can remove anybody he wants to remove at any given time that he so wishes to remove. That is why he's the executive president and commander-in-chief. The Constitution of Nigeria 1999, as amended, has empowered him to do so at his own will, and he cannot be questioned by anybody unless, if you wish to listen to Nigerians who elected him, if they ask too many questions, of course, he can respond. And you also recall that there are questions, and somehow, part of the response to the questions is what just happened. Now, be that as it may, loyalty is paramount in the armed forces. Loyalty must be 100%. 99.99999% loyalty, as far as the armed forces is concerned, is no loyalty. It has to be 100%. And believe me, what has happened in the change of the mantle of leadership is not out of disloyalty. Every Nigerian agrees that the outgone service chiefs, including the present Chief of Defense Staff today, who was part of the outgone team as Chief of Army Staff, were absolutely loyal to the President and to the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. If there were disloyalty issue, the President wouldn't have just retire or remove and appoint. Something else would have followed. But since nothing has followed, and there's no indication of anything is going to follow, suggests to every Nigerian that it is not issue of disloyalty from those that were removed, but rather reinforcing, bringing new life, reinvigorating, recalibrating the structure, the asylum of the armed forces after 2 years plus of service, so that another vigor and valor can be brought into it. Not because the ones that were there didn't really perform, but you also needed new fresh blood, you needed fresh thinking, you needed fresh vigor, you needed fresh initiative to come into play so that you can succeed. If you listen to the address as being screened of the Chief of Defense Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyide, he has run down his background, all that he has done, where he has worked, where he has faced challenges, and the successes so far achieved, and what he intends to do as the overall head student as far as the service chiefs are concerned. You have prefect, he is the head student of the prefect. That is, the service chiefs are the prefect now, while he is the head student of the prefect. And of course, he's coming with experience, he's coming with knowledge, he's coming with administrative strategy, he's coming with technological advancement, just like he has displayed as Chief of Army Staff under the Nigerian Army. He's coming with those things, and also to consolidate on what his predecessor have done, that is General C.G. Musa. You see, and one thing that I know, loyalty and respect in the armed forces is something you cannot take away from the members of the armed forces. And that is being displayed holistically. So I can guarantee you that, yes, the president has done what he needed to do because he needed to refreshen the mind and the memory of those in the armed forces so that there could be, like I said, new idea, new thinking, new technology. And these guys are coming with new things. The Chief of Naval Staff, the Chief of Air Staff, and of course the Chief of Army Staff, now they are coming in. You can see, if you look at their movement, from the time they went to see the president till when they went to see the Chief of Minister of Defense, then the National Security Advisor, and in the National Assembly, you can see the vigor, you can see the value, you can see the commitment, you can see the willingness in them to provide service for Nigeria and Nigerians. You can see how gallantly they were moving. You can see how they are standing, indicating and telling Nigerians that we are coming and we are going to perform the magic that is expected of us. And of course, the head boy, who is the Chief of Defense Staff, I have already explained it. And like I said, he had the experience. And because he had the experience, he is coming in with that experience, and then he's going to consolidate on what his predecessor, the Chief of Defense Staff, former Chief of Defense Staff now, General C.G. Musa, has done. And believe me, General Oluyide like he's a PhD studies. He has attended different courses. So I think administratively, he is good to go.
Okay.
Professionally, as a military man, he is good to go. So, and then in terms of also experience, he's equally good to go. All these guys are good to go. I think what Nigerians need to do for them now is to pray for them so that they will succeed. I think we should drop some certain level of sentiment. There was only going to be one challenge that I hear every Nigerian crying and complaining about. Those that are in service today, there's this insinuation that some officers will be retired, some said 60, some said 160, whatever the number is. That is why the issue is not going to come, because you are retiring experienced people. They are insinuating the retirement of experienced people who still have a lot to give. I think the present Chief of Defense Staff could as well adopt what the former Chief of Defense Staff, General C.G. Musa, did by not retiring those that were supposed to go or that are expected to go retirement because of their appointment, instead bringing them to defense headquarters to come and continue to provide service, and these guys, once you allow them, they will also want to make a difference. They want to show that, yes, you did not leave us for nothing. We are coming to contribute greatly to the development and also to the enhancement of security in Nigeria.
All right. Okay. I hear you. But I understand what you're saying, okay? I have a little concern with the timing of this particular shakeup. Can you hear me? Okay, great. So I'm going to come to you, Professor Simeon. The timing is where I have a bit of concern. And historically, we've seen major leadership, reshuffles in Nigeria's military. We've seen it followed. All of them have followed crisis or maybe political tensions. And then when that happens, we see this shakeup happen. How significant is the timing of this shakeup? And what message might the president be sending out, both to the troops and to the political class, and even to Nigerians as civilians?
Message is sending to us is that we should buckle up. I don't want to debunk some of the things the comrade has said, because he said he's in the military. But I'd like to say this, and say it emphatically, that in the military, you don't take orders from your junior. So if a junior person has been appointed, you cannot ask the senior to come to wherever. He is automatically retired in the military. We know that. Okay. So coming to tell us that they can ask those people to come at headquarters, command headquarters to serve, I don't think that will work, because that law is sacrosanct, that a junior person...
Comrade, please, can you mute your mic, please?
You don't take orders from your junior in the military. It has caused problem in this country, and we know it. I'm not a military. I don't need to be a military man to know that. So, and we have seen those things happen before. Every other person that's a junior, that's a senior to the person that has been appointed is automatically retired. So those ones are going to retire. That's one of the things people are saying, that some fine officers are going to be retired. He did say that these people are coming with fresh ideas. Is he telling us that they were not there before? Are they coming from the moon? Were they outside the country before now? Is he now trying to tell us that there was no synergy, that they were not working as a team? Because if they were working as a team, those ideas they have, they should have been giving it to their bosses. That's the way it works. We've worked in organizations. If you have an idea that can move an organization forward, what stops you from bringing that idea? Is it only when you have the mantle of leadership that you now begin to show us the ideas you have? No, it doesn't work that way. So they have been there. You see, if you look at their credentials, nobody can fault their credentials. They are good to go with their credentials. Yeah. But what we are saying is that it's not about paper. It's not about qualification. It's about what they are going to bring on the table. So we have had these things over and over again. Once they come in, they tell us they are going to dismiss the people that left came up with such message that once they come, they are going to decimate the insurgency. Insurgency will be no more. But it has festered. It has even grown with wings and bands this 2 years plus and what have you. So please, we should look at issues from the right perspective. I said it earlier, I'm not a military person, but let no person come here to bamboozle us on things we already know that has been happening in this country. It cannot change overnight. That a senior person will be brought to the headquarters and then he will serve under his junior. It doesn't happen. Even in the police force, it doesn't happen. Talk less in the military.
All right. We're going to go on a short break. And when we come back, we'll continue the conversation. Please stay with us. All right, you're welcome back. If you're just joining us, the Senate has just confirmed our new service chiefs, and we're asking, this new leadership, is it going to move us further, in terms of security? Are they going to change the tide of insecurity in Nigeria? And I have with me Comrade Aliyu, a military veteran, and I have also Professor Simeon, who is an analyst, and we're trying to unpack this development. Gentlemen, please confirm you're still with me.
Yes, we are.
Oh, great.
I'm still here.
Great. Comrade, let me come to you, Comrade Aliyu. With the Senate's confirmation, right, now that we are done with this phase and they are confirmed, what new thing should Nigerians realistically, emphasis on that, expect from them, in this short term? Do you think they can help us fix this entrenched security challenges that we have or have had over time in this nation?
I can guarantee you they are going to consolidate on the performance of the immediate past service chiefs. They are going to consolidate on that. And I also want to, with due respect, tell the prof there that it has been done before. What do you call him? General Lucky Rabo retained his mates, his course mates in the defense headquarters. He didn't retire them. They walked along in defense headquarters.
Now he's seniors. He could retire his mates, but now he's seniors. He can't retire his seniors.
This is why I didn't interrupt you, Prof. Also, General C.G. Musa also retained his course mates and they worked with him. And what we are saying is, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluide has his own course mate. He has no senior right now. He has no senior in the armed forces. All that were there are his course mates. And those his course mates can work with him in defense headquarters. Just like the C.G. Musa's course mate worked with him, just like Lucky Irabo's course mate worked with him. That is what we are saying. They are not going to work in the services. That is Army, Navy, Air Force. If they are moved to defense headquarters, they are now working with their own course mate, which is the Chief of Defense Staff. I want you to understand that, Prof, it has been done before, and this is not the first time. And why a lot of Nigerians are insinuating this is because so that not to lose professionals just because there is a rejigging of the service chiefs. Those guys still have some more years to serve. So Nigerians are saying what has been done before should also be considered on their own part. Sentimentally, I have no connection with any of these guys, but this is this is what the feelers of Nigerians, both within the armed forces and outside the armed forces. I'm only expressing what I know, what I heard, what people are saying. Possibly you did not get to hear about these ones that are calling and that the service chiefs should, maybe the CDS should retain those his mates at the defense headquarters. In most cases, once you have at the service headquarters, yes, naturally, junior will not salute his senior at the service headquarters. But if you are moved to defense headquarters, you are working with your course mate. That is what the insinuation that is going on. That is, by the way, they are coming with a lot of strength. And also, it is not that there is no synergy, or because they are now being appointed, that's why they will now bring out what they know that they refuse to bring out while the ones that were there were there. No, that is not what we are saying. The armed forces is an organized first. It's a force of discipline, it's a force of cohesion, it's a force of collaboration, it's a force of understanding. So there is no barrier. Everybody within command and control. In fact, even the private soldier is given opportunity to express what he think, what are his views as far as war or peace is concerned. That is what they call DOBA. Commanders were instructed to do DOBA with their soldiers so that the soldiers can express. That is the only place where soldiers is given opportunity to say your mind unhindered, and nobody is going to charge you or stop you. No, you are free to express your mind to the letter when there are DOBAs. Commanders hold DOBAs with soldiers. So those DOBAs are held, and soldiers express themselves. And the minutes of those DOBAs are taken from the lowest to the highest echelon of the command of the armed forces for implementation. So there's cohesion, there's collaboration, there's understanding. Armed forces is a core of discipline. So it is not that somebody is coming to bring something different. I'm only trying to further elaborate on what the professor said. Yeah. So they are coming to do the best they can. They are coming to consolidate on the achievement and the successes of their predecessors. And of course, they will want to do more than what their predecessors, of course, did. Everybody, command is a style. Leadership is a style. Whether in the armed forces or the leadership of the country or the government.
For a bit. Comrade, let me come in just before you complete that train of thought, because this is in line with it. Now, insecurity, of course, has continued to claim lives in Nigeria. And over 3,000 deaths in the first half of the year has been recorded, according to the SBM intelligence. What immediate operational... I hear you saying, oh, they are coming to consolidate on what the predecessors did and all that. What immediate operational or intelligence priorities should we look out for? Should they pursue, to change the trajectory that we already have? We have a very bad record right now. What are they doing differently? What do you think they should do differently to change that trajectory?
You heard what the new chief of defense staff said. Armed forces alone cannot win war against insecurity or insurgency or banditry. All hands must be on deck in order to succeed, which means traditional institutions, religious institutions, civil society organizations, women, market women, market men, everybody must be involved in security. Security is everybody's business. So everybody must contribute in one way or the other for security, for Nigerians or for us all to succeed in terms of security. So the new chief of defense staff is saying we are not going to do it alone, and we cannot achieve it alone. We need everybody to be involved, and we are going to involve everybody in securing this country. The man has widened up the chances. He has opened up opportunities for Nigerians to also air their views, advise, and then their advice will be listened to and will be implemented in terms of securing lives and property of Nigerians. This is the new thing they are also coming with. So I think from his expression at the National Assembly during the screening, I think he has said all that Nigerians needed to listen to. He has said all that Nigerians needed to hear. He has said all that Nigerians are supposed to work towards achieving. All that is needed is to cooperate with the armed forces, and then my phone went off. That's the end of the interview.
Okay. I'm going to come to you, Professor Simeon, right? What do you think? What do you think they can do differently? What do you think they can do differently to change this bad record we have?
Okay, they can do several things differently. He was talking of synergy. I wanted to take him up on that. We have discovered that there's no synergy among the armed forces, because if there is synergy, the Air Force should be working in tandem with the Army. They just go do the strike, and these guys will mop up the land. But we'll see a situation where the Air Force will go, and after some days, they now go to do their own, differently from what the Air Force is doing. There should be synergy among the forces, so that once these people are striking, for instance, I use the Air Force as an example. If the Air Force is striking, the Army should be on hand, that after the strike, they go in and mop up what is left of the insurgency. Let me say this succinctly. It resonates with me that this is a guerrilla warfare. It is not like a normal war. So they should change tactics. They are not fighting a normal war that you know the target of your enemy. You see, this time around, they should employ, I know they have been using them, let them get more drones that can target the area where this insurgency are. You see, we see pictures of these people on television. We see them on social media, you know, celebrating. Why can't they go and mop them up there? You see, celebrating, not even celebrating. I understand that when they say they are celebrating in a community, you cannot go there because you are going to destroy some civilians alongside with them. But we'll see them in the bushes celebrating. And these things are, the governor of Borno State did say on television that on his phone, he has, you know, been able to locate some of their targets. And are they saying that they didn't hear that? What did they do with that information? If they don't have the information themselves, the one the governor provided, what did they do with it? These are the things. So if you're talking about synergy, are you synergizing in air? Are you on air? No, synergy means bringing ideas and people together and, you know, work together as one. They are not working as a team. That is the major issue. So if this current crop of service chiefs will come in and work as a team, maybe we'll be able to conquer this war. But if they continue the way they are, claiming superiority, this one is superior to the, I think that's where this problem is. They will not say it, but we know, because we've been in management, we know how these things pan out. People want to claim that they are the people that, you know, did the job. That's where it is coming from. So let them, you know, what will I say? Okay, let them keep their ego somewhere and work as a team. Because if they come out and work as a team, we know it's a guerrilla warfare, but they can defeat this insurgency in a matter of time. So, in a matter of time. But the way they are going it now, there's still more to be desired. If they are going to do anything. It's not about marching majestically to National Assembly. That has nothing to do with the work they are going to do. Let them walk the talk and not talk the talk.
All right. So finally, just before I let you go, for those of us civilians now who are really fatigued with all of this insurgencies and failure of the system, what must change in governance of security, you know, to help us restore faith and confidence in this system? Finally, 1 minute, sir.
Well, I said it before. Security, everybody knows, everybody has to, you know, be conscious of his environment. When you see something, say something. But the problem we have in this country, why people are not saying anything, is that at the end of the day, the person that will give information will not become a victim. Right. That's why people, when they see something, they don't keep it to themselves. So if our forces, no matter who they are, even the police, will take information and use it secretly, people will be able to divulge information. But the situation where you give information, they will not go and tell the person, look at the person that gave them the information. We have seen it happen. But if you call them now, they will deny it. We know it happens. So these are the issues. They should be able to handle information the way it should be, because they are security, that trained security personnel. The army, Nigerian army is one of the best in Africa. I can tell you that for free. But they should get to the brass tacks and do what they are supposed to do at the time they are supposed to. Let them do the needful. And if they do that, we won't be where we are today.
All right. Thank you so much, Professor Simeon. And unfortunately, that's all the time we have. But thank you for your ever insightful input. And I do hope you have a good evening. All right. So we see the screening, confirmation of these new service chiefs, right, against the backdrop of coup rumors and internal instability. It just goes to show us that Nigeria's democracy, right, believe it or not, still walks on a tightrope between the authorities and accountability. Right? I understand, reshuffles happens in different administrations, but this one is too suspicious, if you understand what I mean. Why is it just immediately after the alleged coup attempt that we're seeing this reshuffling? I don't know if you follow. You see, changing faces at the top will it means little if old habits remain entrenched, okay? The new service chiefs, of course, they must confront not just external threats. Now they are burdened with the challenge of also confronting institutional weaknesses, poor intelligence, coordination, corruption, eroding morale. We're losing it, right? They have to face this head on. And I really do hope that they do something different. Even though that's me hoping for a lot, but that's all we can do. Hope that they do something different, because like I said, it's a bit too suspicious, but I want to trust that they know what they're doing, right? And I want to trust that this new leadership would help take us out of where we are, because we're in a bad place when it comes to insecurity in Nigeria. So they're going to, I hope they help us take us out of there and put us in a good light. Now, before we go, remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Official Upgrade TV. Drop a comment, like, share, and follow all our social media. Follow us on all our social media platforms. And if you missed our quote earlier, here it is. It says, school rumors are not signs of strength or courage, but symptoms of a system that has lost the people's confidence. Because right now in Nigeria, the confidence of the people are on 0 level. My name is Choma Kalu, and this has been Ways Primetime. Have a good night, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Nigeria, by extension Africa, battles a growing youthful population, and with little or no meaningful engagement, leaves a ticking time bomb on our hands. We are a blessed continent with great wealth, both in people and material. Our focus on ways remains driving conversations that affects us all. Topics in the news, social concerns, politics, leadership, governance, empowerment, resource management, conflict management, finance, SME sustainability, technological innovation, food security, health, education, brain drain, our well-being, citizenship, and much more. Our goal is to continuously drive these conversations, keep them burning at the table to effect a positive change, both for our nation and continent. Ways, what are you saying, has a secret ingredient that completes the conversation every single episode, and that ingredient is you. Our past conversations shaped our yesterday. To shape our tomorrow, we must keep talking. So, I want to hear you. Be a part of our live conversations Mondays through Fridays. And let's all have our say.